All right, folks. We just finished our Leads and Sales Accelerator program with Tim here. Tim, I would love for you to give people an idea of where were you before this challenge when we first connected? What were some of the frustrations and challenges that you had?
Uh, too many to list here. But some of the big ones was I knew what to do, but not how. I even knew how to do it, but there was something holding me back about actually putting the pieces together, sitting down,
Hmm.
figuring it out, and implementing. I have had this sort of thing on my radar since June or July, and I've spent hours of training and watching videos and doing what I could, and it was still there's this block that I had, and going coming into this space just crushed those blocks. I mean, it was incredible, but challenges, yeah, implementing, following through, figuring it out, the brainstorming, and figuring out how to connect all the pieces. Because when I look at it from the 10,000 foot overview, it's confusing and it's challenging.
Totally. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
Absolutely.
and I've been working on stuff like this in other ways for years, but still with this, it was so hard for me to wrap my head around to actually implement and do it. And
Yeah.
I
And I
was
think a
stuck.
lot of people go through that. It's the analysis paralysis and like
Oh,
the
so much.
needing to know it all and all these things, right? There's all these pieces to the puzzle for sure. So how do you feel like, in a basic sense, like how did the experience in the program help you?
More than I can say in words, because especially in the beginning, sort of the peace of mind that I got before
Hmm.
even we started working together was game changing. And then being able to sort of using faith and putting my faith in you that something was going to be different. Because I mean, I've past 3 years, I've gone through 8 different agencies trying to generate leads and results for my business. And one out of those 8 has been able to cover their monthly retainer. And the rest has been just a total waste of money. I've wasted tens of thousands of dollars on these marketing pros and stuff like this. And so I definitely had that in the back of my head of like, shit, is this gonna be another one of those? I've been burned so many times, but something just felt different. And once we
It's
got
because
into
I've been
it,
burned so many times, and
right?
and I'm the same as you. So that's why I wanted to create something different. So I totally get it.
And you have, because once we started working together, it I mean it is night and day difference because you were actually there holding my hand, helping me brainstorm, put these things together, put my weird esoteric thoughts and challenges, bring them together. And it's like you could see the forest through the trees,
Mhm.
and you could see so easily what I couldn't see or say or put down on paper or into the software to actually create this freaking masterpiece that makes talking about it so much easier and gives me something tangible now that I can use when I'm doing my consults with potential clients. And it's a whole different ball game having that, because number one, it gives me more confidence in what I'm doing as I'm showing them step by step, going through this roadmap. Look, this is what you're going to get when you work together. It's not just me spewing a bunch of stuff at them, connecting the words with the visual in a easy to follow process instead of me just diarrheaing a bunch of stuff out and
Yeah,
confusing the hell out of them, which
exactly,
I have a tendency
exactly.
to
Yeah,
overcomplicate and get into the weeds. And this
yeah,
helps keep me out of the weeds and stay surface because they don't need to know all that stuff now. They don't want to know
yeah.
all that stuff now.
No,
But
Yeah, it's keeping it simple for them. And that's the
it's
thing.
huge.
Most of us that are transformational coaches and people that help people in service providers, like we have a hard time explaining what we do. That was totally me. And that was the sense I got with you before we jumped in and built all this stuff together. Um, and now what this allows you to do is now you can take all of the foundational stuff we built, and now we can run ads, and we can, use this organically and emailing and social media and all these things, like with confidence.
Right.
That's what I think a lot of the people missed.
It, it's
um
it's huge, and this is sort of anecdotal, but even before we started working together, just our initial conversations of me putting my faith and my trust in you, just because we connected and we like biohacking and all that stuff, so we had a good connection. But
yeah,
um, the shift that I had from an emotional standpoint was very interesting. How it affected my family and my now 5 month old daughter who hadn't slept through the night her entire life. And the night that we had our first call together, energetically something shifted in me, and it was obviously felt by those around me, my family being the closest. And that was the first night she slept through the night in, at that time, 4.5 months, and did that
dude,
for a full week solid until she started cutting teeth, and now it's a whole nother ball
it's a
game.
whole different ballgame. But
But
I love that.
it was
I mean,
incredible.
it gives me tingles just thinking about that, because
Yeah.
it's like that's what this really is. And if for any of you listening, it's like this is an energetic experience, is what it is. And it's more than just creating digital marketing assets and sales stuff. I mean, what you just said there is my favorite. That's my favorite stuff.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
love
huge.
hearing that. If you were to give a person some advice as to, if they were on the edge of jumping into an experience like this, what advice would you give them?
Do it. I mean, I was looking at hiring a coach that does not even as much as what we've done together in the short time period. And they had this whole thing stretched out over a multi-month long process just for what we did in a week. They were trying to stretch us out into multiple months and charge about $8,000 for it.
Yeah,
And like the value I got in this time period far surpasses that. And I'm so glad I didn't work with that other company, because like I got so much more with you in such a shorter time period that I never would have gotten with them, because it was, one call a week, one call, a couple calls a month, like, and the amount of legwork I still would have had to do
yeah,
paying $8,000. I don't know if I would have done it. I've done some things like that in the past where I paid $10,000 and it was done for you, and I had to do so much work I didn't. But having you hands on helping me through that process and actually getting it done, it, it's phenomenal. I am so thankful that I didn't hire that other person and worked with you, because I got way more.
dude, I love all of this. I appreciate all your kind words, and I'm so glad the experience was so great. And yeah, I look forward to seeing the ripple effect over the next couple of months of what this is going to create. So thank you so
I,
much.
so I mean, even before finishing this, just having sort of the roadmap in mind and having it not finished but fleshed out, just not made look pretty, all that. I was using that in a couple consults I had that sort of came out of the blue, and was able to pretty much sell a $5,000 package just from having this, where I wouldn't have had that confidence. I wouldn't have known my
Yeah,
value, the value of the course, the value of everything that you helped me put together. I I was charging pennies previously
yeah.
by comparison, and now I have the confidence to charge what I'm worth, and knowing that with what we've put together, I can get them results as well.
Yeah. Because now you see the value, because you can see it too, which is the
Right.
beautiful part. You see it, they see it. It's a win-win across the board. So I just love that. That's the thing. Be creating the clarity, folks, is one of the biggest pieces in your marketing and sales assets. And when you can do that, you become unstoppable, y'all. So thank you so much, Tim, for all of this magic today, man. You're the best.
Thank you, brother.